Chapters 760 to 764. Chapter 760, The End of Eclipse. In the aftermath of the final battle, Zhu Jing's announcement rings out that Huan Jin is dead and Eclipse Moon has been defeated, signaling Blizzard City's triumphant victory. The Tengu squad erupts in cheers and tears of relief. They have been under immense pressure and suppression for so long that the release is overwhelming. At the Combat Command Center, Zhu Jing, always stern, finally smiles in pride. He congratulates Zhang Yi, praising him for not letting them down. On the big screen, Zhang Yi is shown lifting the severed head of Feng Guangyuan, a captured enemy commander, and the guards behind Zhu Jing privately marvel at Zhang's prowess. Lan Xinqing, meanwhile, approaches Zhu to congratulate him on the rout of the Eclipse forces, boasting that rivals will now think twice before daring to challenge Jiangnan region. Lan's aristocratic pride is on display, though Zhu Jing cautions against complacency despite the victory. Zhang Yi, encouraged by the celebration, whispers a hint of doubt to Zhu Jing. He suggests that Gao Chongkong, captain of the Samsara squad, might have been an inside agent all along. Zhu Jing is confused. Gao has no clear motive to betray them, and realizes Zhang Yi is simply diverting suspicion. The accusation was a ploy to cover their own tracks. But Zhang Yi noted Gao's sudden failure to show up as agreed, sensing something amiss in the campaign. Intrigued, Zhu Jing agrees to look into it. Lan Xinqing privately reacts to the accusation with disdain. He has always looked down on Gao Chongkong as someone born in a lower status district, unworthy of respect. Lan's aristocratic arrogance rears up, but Zhu Jing suggests letting Zhang Yi and his exhausted team return to his hometown, Tianhai City, to rest and recover. The commanders secretly wonder if Gao's delayed support might be connected to the Eclipse incident. Meanwhile, Gao Chongkong and the Samsara squad hover above Tianhai City. Receiving Zhu Jing's message summoning them back, Gao feigns surprise at the abrupt return order. In private, he smirks and shares with his teammates that they have all been deceived by Zhang Yi's performance. Zhang Yi hid his true strength so well that even Jiangnan's leadership was unaware of it until now. Now Gao senses the tide has turned. He tries contacting Zhang Yi to congratulate him on the victory, but Zhang Yi already knew of Gao's chilling tone and the implications. Back in Blizzard City, Zhu Jing and Lan Xinqing watch the live commotion unfold. They are shocked to see the Samsara squad suddenly appear at the command center's entrance, when they should have been hundreds of kilometers away in Tianhai. Immediately realizing the betrayal, Zhu Jing screams for the defenses to seal the command tower. Heavy metal plates and blast doors clamp down, locking out the invading team. Lan Xinqing stares at the empty security posts. The Samsara officers never left the city. Zhu Jing's mind races. The Samsara squad has staged a rebellion, implying a mole or two in his own city. Tension spikes in the headquarters as guards prepare for the confrontation. Chapter 761, No one has ever been born high and mighty. Zhang Yi reflects on a cryptic call from Gao Chongkong earlier. Gao's strange, flat tone triggered Zhang's instincts. As he absorbs the potent life force from Feng Guangyuan's head, which rapidly heals the wounds that the battle inflicted, Zhang Yi pieces together Gao's implication. Zhang Yi suddenly realizes Gao may have been at the center of all their recent misfortunes, including the ambush by Eclipse forces. Confused but cautious, Zhang Yi immediately contacts Zhu Jing by communication link to warn him, Gao Chongkong makes me uneasy. He may be connected to Eclipse Moon. Please investigate. Zhu Jing assures him he will, but at that moment the calm is shattered by a massive explosion in Blizzard City, cutting them off. Zhang knows Zhu Jing is now in grave danger. On the ground, Gao Chongkong stands with a grim sense of purpose. In a rallying speech to his Samsara squad, he rails against the complacency of the ruling class. Power alone determines fate, and he, once a hero, couldn't even protect his own parents while the elites sat idle. He vows that peaceful change was denied to him, so now he will force change by his own means. As he finishes his monologue, the elevator doors to the command tower open. One by one, the Samsara members file in, led by Gao and chaperoned by the turncoat head of security, Wu Jingheng. Guard Lieutenant Gan tells them to halt, surprised. Shouldn't you be hundreds of kilometers away at Linhai City? When Gon reports the sight to Lan Xinqing and Zhu Jing, they are stupefied. Zhu's blood runs cold. If the Samsara squad never left Blizzard City, a coup is underway. Lan Xinqing realizes one member, Chameleon, can assume any disguise. Zhu shrieks, "They were always here. We're under attack from within." He yells to seal the building completely. Electric plates slide into place, corridors lock down. The city is thrown into all-out alert as allies become enemies and panic spreads in the command center. Chapter 762, Revolution. The city's alarm echoes, the Samsara squad has rebelled. Zhu Jing furiously calls out over secure channels to Gao Changkong. "Are you planning a rebellion?" Gao smiles darkly and replies, "No, this is revolution. A rejection of loyalty to the current order." Zhu Zhang's fist smashes the table in rage. On the first floor, defensive teams stand in shock. Knowing they cannot defeat the elite aliens through force, they hesitate, torn between loyalty and survival. Suddenly, Wu Jingheng, the head of security, emerges from the crowd. "This is my task," he declares gravely. While all eyes watch, Wu activates a remote, every security lock and elevator door on the lower levels opens. The defenders gape, Wu is enabling the insurgents. He steps aside politely, as if guiding friendly visitors, waving the Samsara squad upwards. One shock follows another as it dawns on the onlookers, Wu Jingheng is an undercover agent for Gao Changkong. The Samsara officers board the elevator unimpeded. The senior officers realize the fortress has been betrayed from within. Wu offers only a curt nod to Gao, "Thank you. I will take my payment." The elevator ascends, and chaos breaks loose below. The battle for Blizzard City's fate has begun. Chapter 763, Heading to the Command Center, Additional Update 1. Across Tianhai City, Zhang Yi convenes with Bailey Chongqing, Yang Xinqin, and others. Deng Shintong's miraculous return now looms large in their minds, and Zhang Yi questions Gao's motives. He reasons that if Gao's coup were solely about revenge on Zhu Jing, Zhang Yi himself wouldn't have bothered. Nor would he throw away the Jiangnan region's stability merely to enlist Neon Ronin, foreign villains. The regional gap is too large for that. Perhaps it was a personal grudge? Yang Xinqin suggests Gao might feel slighted by Zhu Jing. They'd fought against Eclipse and Tianlong pirates, achievements only he and Zhang Yi could claim. In any case, Zhang Yi and Xinqin agree that Jiangnan's heroes have the strength to handle whatever comes, though Bailey Chongqing pleads passionately for action. Despite weakness from his compound drug side effects, Bailey screams that letting Gao's betrayal stand is unforgivable, far worse than any animal sin. Suddenly Bailey collapses coughing blood, an after-effect of his desperate performance-enhancing drug usage. Zhang Yi catches the fallen comrade, angrily declaring that if he could, he'd personally kill Gao Changkong for the sake of justice. A cold fury glints in Zhang Yi's eyes as they commit to confronting this crisis, however daunting. Chapter 764, Shattering All Defenses, Additional Chapter 2. Back in Blizzard City's command room, Zhu Jing sits rigid, watching screens of the Samsara team's advance. Linemen and Yanyun guards throw themselves at Gao's forces with valor, but the strength gap is impossible. Even without fully fighting, Gao's men clear corridors effortlessly. Zhu commands, "Hold them back. Don't let them reach the inner sanctum." Lan Xinqing's pale face beads with sweat. This is the first time he has truly faced mortal peril. He shouts on the communicator for reinforcements, but just then Guman, a Samsara team member, notices sirens and support troops arriving. The new God Squad barrier master snaps her fingers. Like that, a gigantic black crystalline cube envelopes the entire command tower. Her indestructible barrier now protects Gao's forces inside. Outside, frantic soldiers unleash bullets and explosives on the impregnable wall. Citywide alarms blare, Blizzard City is thrown into chaotic war. Amid gunfire, Gao's revolutionaries gain free passage. Zhu Jing and his remaining loyalists find themselves trapped behind Guman's barrier with nowhere to flee. Chapters 765 to 769. Chapter 765, Go and Kill Gao Changkong. Gao Chongkong and the Samsara squad storm the inner sanctum. Confronting Sun Luxuan, Zhu Jing's veteran bodyguard, at the secure doorway, Ji Yushan steps up to engage. He taunts Sun, "Mr. Sun, let me test your skills." Sun snorts, offended at the slight. Standing nearby, Gao warns Sun not to underestimate Ji. Gao reveals a chilling secret: his ability Death is Reincarnation allowed him countless practice duels against Sun, learning every move and weakness. He smirks that Ji Yushan is precisely the weapon he crafted to defeat Sunday. Sun's heart sinks. With so many iterative fights, Gao's team knew all his methods. He steels himself, even if he loses, he will honor his duty. Gaunt and deadly, Ji Yushan charges with his great blade in an all-out assault. The floor shudders as Ji strikes with green-tinted lethality. A gruesome duel begins in earnest. The blockade guarding Zhu Jing hinges on whether Sun can hold Ji off, but Ji fights purely to pin Sun, rather than kill him outright, following Gao's strategy of sheer attrition. Chapter 766, Righteousness and Hypocrisy. Inside the inner command room, Gao Chongkong confronts the stunned captains. He smirks and launches into a monologue. Zhu's enemies from the start, Deng Shintong and the God Squad, were no accident. Gao had orchestrated the betrayals. His original plan, was to have Deng Shintong killed earlier so he, Gao, could run the Eclipse campaign and then assassinate Zhu Jing to seize power. But Zhang Yi's unexpected victory foiled that. So he switched to Plan B, strike directly at Blizzard City and eliminate Zhu in one blow. Zhu Jing, despite grave circumstances, stands up to Gao. "You planned this all along, didn't you? You leaked our plans to Eclipse and even had us ambushed." Zhu's accusation is met with Gao's cool grin. Gao acknowledges it outright. Zhu may have caught on too late. But Gao defiantly declares he does not care about Zhu's subordinates, only Zhu himself. He gestures to the command staff, "My men do not wish to spill the blood of innocents. They are strong soldiers, not collateral. Give me Zhu Jing's head, or I will spill yours." The standoff breaks as the terror sinks in. One by one, frightened staff plead to flee. Zhu sternly insists they go, his life is the target. Guards step back, relieved to escape. Zhu Jing remains alone with Gao Chongkong. The entire leadership of Blizzard City dwindles to two. Zhu sets himself, unforgiving but resolute, to face Gao's assassination attempt head-on. Chapter 767, Return of the Mourner. Gao Chongkong raises his hand to strike Zhu Jing down. To him it is an act of sacred duty, reshaping a corrupt world by tearing down false gods. Just as Gao's blade is about to fall, a brilliant white light flashes behind Zhu. A massive energy portal blooms, and steps out Deng Shintong, alive, in gleaming silver armor, flanked by a dozen armed alien warriors including Bai Chunyu of the God Squad. Everyone gasps. Deng Shintong was supposed to be dead. Lan Xinqing whispers to Zhu that this must have been planned, but Zhu's expression is unreadable, implying he did expect reinforcements. In a narrated flashback, Zhu and Deng had conspired together after their earlier defeat. They knew an Eclipse mole was poisoning their city from inside. They deliberately left a gap in Blizzard City's defenses as bait. Gao was lured to take action, allowing the loyalists to trap the rebellion. Lan realizes Zhu always has plans. He quietly admires Zhu's foresight in arranging this final gambit. Now backed by Deng Shintong and the new God Squad, Zhu Jing's forces are bolstered. Gao, however, sneers at this arrival. "Deng Shintong, you're alive." He jeers that Zhang Yi's intervention saved Deng's life. Without it he would have been buried with Zhu Jing. For now Gao treats Deng's aid with contempt. He only wants to fight Zhu. But the balance of power has suddenly shifted. Gao gives a last edge of the seat challenge. Finally, the major captains of both sides are present. It is command center versus rebelling aliens in a stalemate. High tensions and egos clash as the chapter ends, the confrontation about to unfold in full. Chapter 768, New Energy Awakening, Additional Update 1. With the command room now turned into a war zone, Deng Shintong squares off against Gao Chongkong directly. Gao chooses to isolate Deng immediately. He whispers a single word, "Martial Arts Arena, open." In an instant, Deng is transported into a void-like combat arena with Gao, apart from the rest of the battlefield. Outside, the rebel Samsara squad and the loyalists clash in chaos, but Zhang Yi and Deng's focus is on their duel. Deng instantly casts his Great Sumeru illusion, seeking to confuse Gao with hallucinations affecting all 5 senses. But Gao calmly pulls on the Tianwu mask, a high-tech visor, the very tool Zhu Jing gifted him, blocking all visual and auditory illusions. He reveals that he had repeatedly fought Deng through his reincarnation cycles, learning all of Deng's moves. "I've seen all your tricks in the end," Gao says. Deng envelopes himself in a silver holy light, his holy body blessing nearly renders him a near-immortal close combat master with his flower sword. Yet Gao remains unfazed. He taunts Deng, "No matter what abilities you have, at the end, I've seen you die." Gao credits Zhang Yi's hidden strengths with admiration, acknowledging he underestimated him. Now there is no restraining Gao. The two elites launch into an epic clash of sword and sorcery, Gao determined to fulfill his prophecy that Deng will fall under his blade. Chapter 769, Patching the Pot. Battle scenes escalate. Outside the command tower, defensive teams finally break out from the tunnels. Yenyun guards and city forces, rallied by the new God Squad's presence, begin to encircle the Samson's rear. The Samsara rebels are now flanked and desperate. Inside the arena between Gao and Deng, the fight grows even more violent. On one field, Ji Yushan duels Sun Lushuan fiercely. Ji, well prepared by Gao's countless drills, easily parries Sun's lethal strikes. Every deadly move Sun has practiced is already predicted and countered by Ji. After dozens of cycles, Ji fights with a singular aim, to hold Sun in place, not necessarily kill him, knowing Gao's strategy called for prolonging the standoff. On the main stage, Gao vs Deng becomes a contest of titans. Gao powers up to his full might, activating his Tianwu Baoluan gear and Sun Will sword. Deng stands tall with his slender flower sword raised. Clashing upon clashing, dark flaming energy meets golden holy light. The skyscraper ceiling shatters under the combined shockwaves. Their duel is so fierce that for a moment, half the sky in the empty space turns midnight black while the other half glows gold with Buddha-like radiance. As the fight drags on, Deng begins to falter. The more blows he exchanges, the more Gao's words ring true. Gao had already foreseen Deng's death repeatedly in his reincarnation foresight. Each assault Deng throws is blocked as if Gao literally knew it in advance. With each clang of blades, Deng's fear grows, his savior status shattered by the revelation that Gao Chongkong might indeed kill him. The chapter ends with Deng realizing Gao's prediction, setting the stage for the final outcome of their duel. Chapters 770 to 774. Chapter 770, Savior. In a climactic turn, Gao Chongkong delivers a devastating strike. Deng Shintong is slammed aside, coughing blood, and flies out of the arena into Zhu Jing's presence. Gao's forces pause, triumphant, their leader stands towering over Deng's inert form. The Samsara rebels show only resigned satisfaction, expecting Zhang Yi to follow up. But on Zhu Jing's side, shock and horror take hold, their holy warrior is defeated by Gao's sword. Zhu can barely speak as a chill of death threatens him, the man who had unshakably served Jiangnan is powerless before Gao's blade. Zhu Jing struggles to steady his voice. He implores Gao, "With your strength, why did you not tell us sooner? I would have trained you well, made you my successor." It is an attempt to reason or perhaps flatter, but Gao only scoffs. He reminds Zhu that he had offered to make Gao the hero of the Eclipse campaign, promising glory. Zhu's arrogance made him prefer others for command, so Gao gave up hope of Zhu's legitimacy. He shakes his head with a tinge of regret, "But you chose power and status above all, and left no room for me." Now, poised over Zhu's head with Sun Will sword, Gao proclaims that Zhu's reign has earned him no concessions in Gao's eyes. Suddenly Deng stirs. Gao sneers at Deng's attempt to intervene. "Are you going to rely on your remedies now? Those drugs only speed your death." Undeterred, Deng asks who says he's using them. In defiance, Deng calmly injects a compound number 5 booster, and his form surges with renewed vigor and terrifying energy. The chapter ends at the moment Deng powers up, standing defiant against Gao's blade once more, setting a true all-out confrontation. Chapter 771, Echoes of Time. The battle explodes into its finale. As Gao rushes to finish Zhu, Zhang Yi swoops in at the last instant. Gao unleashes his fearless lion seal in flight against Zhang, then lunges towards Zhu, but Zhang teleports or sidesteps in a flash and intercepts Gao's attack. With holy justice embodied in his flaming sword, Zhang slashes at Gao. The Sunwheel sword and the Holy Judge meet in a collision of epics. One half of the air turns midnight black, the other half shines golden. A massive explosion rents the tower, ceiling tiles and concrete rain down. All non-captains feel the tremor and are thrown aside. Below, the tide has turned, Yanyun guards and defenders swarm the Samsara rebels, who are now caught in a multi-front battle. Lan Xinqing moves Zhu to safety behind him, grimly determined to protect his fallen leader at all costs. Back in the arena, it is a three-way melee, Gao versus Zhang in front, Deng behind. Gao glances over his shoulder warily. He knows Zhang Yi's time-based abilities, Time Echo, allow Zhang to foresee and counter anything, making Zhang the deadliest foe. With a cold determination, Gao now focuses, he must break Zhang first. He swings his sun sword upward, unleashing a titanic energy storm around himself. Gao declares, I will break your alien space first, Zhang Yi. The sword surges a massive storm of power so intense it could collapse an alien dimension. Zhang's eyes widen as Gao's blow, flanked by dark flames, hurtles toward him and the wall behind him. Chapter 772, Great Destruction of Yanluo, Additional 1. Gao's gambit fails. Zhang Yi deflects the oncoming assault by synchronizing Time Echo with his alien space guards, perfectly anticipating every move. Gao realizes in horror that Zhang Yi's ability is supreme. Zhang has been foreseeing all Gao's past tricks, effectively sealing Gao's own deduction powers. Overwhelmed, and with the rest of Blizzard City's forces converging, Gao knows he cannot win. With a last roar, Gao calls off the attack, retreat. His communications channel orders the Samsara squad to fall back. This mission, Gao admits quietly, is over, despite their countless rehearsals and near success. Fate, and Zhang Yi's intervention, betrayed them. The rebel squad withdraws as if in a practiced exodus, leaving the ruined command center. Before leaving, Gao looks back at Zhu Jing. He acknowledges Zhang Yi's victory, admitting Zhang Yi's strength surprised him, and issues a chilling promise, next time, it will not be so easy. To Deng Shintong, he gruffly adds that Deng should thank Zhang Yi. Had Zhang not saved him, he would have died. Gao then uses a dimensional portal, martial arts field ability, to vanish. Deng bitterly calls after Gao. He vows that Gao's strength won't save him next time, though Zhang Yi warns Deng that facing Gao again will be very difficult. Gao's incremental training via reincarnation makes him nearly invincible. Outside, the city breaths relief, the coup has failed. As calm returns, all stand amid the wreckage. The great captains Gao Changkong and his team have fled. Zhang Yi did not speak much, but Deng Shintong looks at him with gratitude. None can deny Zhang Yi saved the day. Zhu Jing steps forward, imposing quiet order. He announces martial law citywide, immediately purging identified coup traitors. The Tengu squad prepares to head back to Tianhai. But Zhu asks Zhang Yi to stay in Blizzard City as an honored expatriate investigator captain, offering benefits well beyond his rank. Zhang Yi politely declines. He hates constant fighting and just wants to return home. Exasperated, Zhu jokes that perhaps Zhang Yi's motivations lie elsewhere, perhaps hinting at Zhang's lady friend Zhou Core. The leaders then resume rebuilding, a new command center is planned, and the city rallies, grateful the rebellion is over. Chapter 773, Hell Guillotine, Additional 2. The dust settles. In an aftermath meeting, Zhang Yi recounts how narrowly they escaped a decisive defeat. He vividly remembers Deng Shintong's Hell's Guillotine technique, a sword style so devastating, it is said to be Ypsilon level, near top-tier alien level. Zhang admits he underestimated that weapon. If Gao had directed it at any of them, it could have capsized the command center. Zhu Jing nods, revealing that he had intended to use that same technique against Gao. As part of his plan, but Gao's unpredictable moves thwarted the conditions needed for the final kill shot. Zhang Yi grows cautious. He resolves to agree to any demands Zhu might impose, especially refusing to hand over his personal alien artifacts. Still, Zhang is relieved to be safe. Zhu credits Zhang with saving Jiangnan from ruin, praises him as a hero, and privately begins planning how to promote him. Outside, various officials and merchants flood the command center, praising Zhu and Zhang as saviors. Their loyalty is hypocritical. None had stepped up until now, but all are eager to feign devotion. Zhu Jing diplomatically deflects their congratulations, already focused on solidifying the city's defenses rather than fleeting fame. Chapter 774, Medium. Zhang Yi reflects on the personal cost. He recalls how Bailey Chongqing gambled with his life on performance drugs to survive the battle. Bailey's fate now hangs in limbo under hospital care. Zhang privately resolves never to touch those compounds. He then notices the city's militia abundance. Zhu Jing, to prevent uprising, executed only the coup's ringleaders and showed mercy to lower followers. Zhang admires Zhu's restraint. Only a true leader could spare innocents in such fury. Over the following days, Zhang Yi and Yang Xinqing debrief. Xinqing reports Tianhai City suffered heavy losses against the Tianlong pirates, a quarter of its manpower lost. Zhang considers how to rebuild, raising new children early to grow the population, though Xinqing correctly notes this is a decade-long plan Zhang can ignore if he wants. He more practically asks about his allies. Liang Yu's arm is badly broken but Sister Zhou's miracle bone setting is fixing it. Fatty Su and Uncle Yu turned in full force against the pirates, and since Zhang's earlier arms stocks were better than most, they prevailed. Zhang is satisfied that, despite their brush with disaster, each friend is well. The city recuperates. Zhang basks in being alive, but in the back of his mind the next threat already stirs. Chapters 775 to 779. Chapter 775, Cleaning. Zhang Yi returns to Tianhai City by Blizzard City Express train. At dawn he wakes to bustling activity. The city is under martial law, troops scouring for remaining samsara traitors. Some neighbors have already been arrested. Political cleansing is swift. Zhang has little interest in such politics. After his breakneck past, he's relieved to be home. He goes to change, and is surprised to see his friends are worried about his well-being. A doctor from the Tendu medical team quickly checks on Zhang. Nurses flutter around, acclaiming him as the hero of Blizzard City. The doctor urges Zhang to get a full checkup for internal injuries, but Zhang remembers Zhu's odd warning about comprehensive exams and politely declines, saying he has his own doctor. He can't shake the unease. Something about that word comprehensive felt dangerous. He quickly excuses himself, feeling eyes of regret follow him. Later, Zhang meets with Tu Yunlai and the returned Tengu squad. They thank him for saving them, especially since Bailey is still recovering. Meanwhile, the Tengu soon join the local crackdown, rounding up anyone linked to the Samsara squad. Because Tianhai is smaller, traitors easily surface, many are jailed or eliminated. The city atmosphere is tense, but Zhang keeps to himself, staying indoors, listening to distant sirens and support convoys leaving for Blizzard City. At night, exhausted, Zhang finally sleeps, thankful to live in peace, at least for now. Chapter 776, Idle. A week later, Zhang Yi reviews the cleanup outcome. To minimize unrest, Zhu Jing mostly spared low-level participants, executing only the key conspirators. Zhang thinks Zhu showed genuine courage and wisdom, a mark of a great leader. Meanwhile, Yang Xinqing has returned from Tengu's posting to Linhai, and Liang Yu is at home healing. Zhang asks about population. Tianhai's birth rate had plummeted during the chaos. He now urges incentives to encourage children. Xinqing jokes about ancient practices, waiting longer between births, multiple wives etc., but Zhang shrugs such future concerns off. He only cares that his family and friends live well. Zhang's mind then drifts to his younger students. Uncle Yu and Su will head to Blizzard City to train with Deng Group's mutant transformation program. Deng Yuanbua had already taught Zhang how to replenish their latent mutant energies, and Zhang hands the remaining Compound X to Uncle Yu, who can regenerate, presumably. Uncle Yu grins eagerly at the chance to gain power. Zhang only warns him to be careful, such potions are dangerous. As the city rebuilds, Zhang hears that all militia, Yenyun guards, and even some volunteer mercenaries have rallied under Zhu Zheng's command. But their celebrations and handshakes hold little interest for Zhang. He is preoccupied with two personal matters: reinforcing Tianhai's sea defenses, and finally resting with his girlfriend Zhou Kur. Chapter 777, Conversation with Zhu Zheng, Additional 6. Zhang Yi visits Blizzard City's new command center under construction. The old one was utterly destroyed. As he walks through the bustling corridors, aides and secretaries bow at his passing. After saving them all, Zhang's status has skyrocketed beyond any captain. Lan Xinqing himself now addresses Zhang with overt respect. Zhang notices Lan and others eye him appreciatively, no doubt sensing Zhu's intent to elevate him further. He is quickly ushered into Zhu Zheng's sleek new office. Zhu is clad in a crisp green uniform and greets Zhang with open arms. They sit with cups of coffee as Lan serves. Zhu effusively thanks Zhang for his courage. Zhang's timely intervention is said to have saved all their lives. He praises Zhang's combat skill and, most of all, his loyalty to Jiangnan. "You have shocked everyone with your talent," Zhu says. He offers Zhang the Tengu squad commander's post or even to form Zhang's own investigation team, with every perk imaginable. He entreats Zhang to stay in Blizzard City, offering him captain's rank plus generous expatriate allowances, and any wishes he might have, no matter how grand. "Tell me your price," Zhu urges, desperate to keep this irreplaceable hero. Zhang listens politely, then declines with gentle firmness. "Thank you, but I do not crave power or wealth. I simply want to return home." He had left Tianhai to fight, now he feels exhausted from constant conflict. Zhu's face falls. He coughs a laugh. He truly has no leverage. Zhang owes him nothing and Zhu owes him everything. Fighting his disappointment, Zhu makes a final offer: let Zhang be an honorary expatriate captain with 20% extra pay, cutting-edge gear, even alien tech access. But Zhang refuses again. "I have no worldly desires." Zhu realizes he cannot force Zhang to stay. He sighs, turning the talk to lighter matters instead. Chapter 778, Amazing Limit. Zhu Zheng fills Zhang in on recent news. The Tianlong pirates, who had menaced Tianhai, have been counterattacked by the East China Sea Coalition. A flotilla of missiles struck their hidden ports, sinking hundreds of vessels. It was a joint warning: 6 regions of Huashu are united against pirate lawlessness. Yet Zhu admits grimly that the pirates are too scattered to be eradicated. Chasing them deep into open ocean would cost massive resources for little gain. He therefore could only issue the warning. Zhang perks up at this mention. He and Beijing-born Cui Canute, now dead, had been responsible for pirate casualties, so Zhang had feared vengeance. Zhu assures him, "We will protect Tianhai City to the utmost." Zhang nods warily. Protection is welcome, but words in wartime can be hollow. Soberly, Zhang arranges a permanent solution. He requests, and Zhu quickly agrees. A shipment of coastal artillery and heavy firearms. 20 huge coastal defense cannons arrive for Tianhai, along with ample ammunition. With these, any hostile fleet within 30 kilometers can be detonated before reaching the harbor. Zhang also acquires an ice-breaking gunship and veteran sailors. Finally feeling safe, Zhang invites Yang Xinxin aboard a new voyage to survey the coast. He is careful to stay in polar shallows, well away from deep-sea dangers. Zhu Zheng waves farewell, standing at the dock as Zhang departs. Once Zhang is gone, Zhu muses aloud: "What kind of person needs neither wealth, status, nor women? How can I ever bind such a soul to my service?" His voice trails as he realizes it may take more than gifts to keep Zhang loyal. Chapter 779, Preparing for a Sea Trip. Deng Yuanbua, Dao's former captain now allied with Zhu, imparts one more favor. He teaches Zhang Yi and allies how to boost their low-level mutant powers. By rare qi preservation techniques, Uncle Yu and Fatty Su, both strong but underpowered mutants, can replenish their essence and approach the cap of their current limits. Grateful, Zhang accepts the help, knowing he will owe Deng more in the future. Deng also reveals how Zhang's own Compound X, the drug given by foreign agents, works. It would force anyone to endure extreme pain and transformation. Zhang shivers when Deng notes Uncle Yu's remarkable self-healing makes him the only potential candidate. There is a dark implication if Zhang had ever dared use it on himself. Zhang shrugs off the chill and thanks Deng as he departs Blizzard City. Zhang, Xinxin, Huahua, and the Tengu squad board the special train back to Tianhai. Bailey Chongqing remains behind, recovering. All others bid farewell. Sergeant Yi hesitates on the platform. When Zhang asks him to rejoin the team, Yi expresses a surprise. He wants to follow Zhang Yi. Lu Yinghao and Shui Miao, both junior officers, echo the sentiment. Having witnessed Zhang's strength, they prefer riding on his coattails. Zhang smiles and grants their wish. This unexpected addition means the Tengu squad might remain out of Blizzard City duty for a while. Their loyalty will be to Zhang directly now. They arrive in Tianhai City. Exiting Xiaomao Mountain Station, Zhang breathes the cold sea air with relief. Finally I can rest, he murmurs. Over the last 2 months, the end-of-world battles have battered Jiangnan and Tianhai alike. At home, Zhou Ke and Yang Xia greet him excitedly. They envelope Zhang in loving hugs. Xia teases whether he'll stay at home now that he's back, and fusses whether he wants food or a bath first, or something else. Zhang demurs, saying only that he wants to sleep. Xia pouts playfully. He drops his coat to Zhou and asks for help in scrubbing his back in a bath. Instantly, Xia perks up. She remembers the first time they met, in the shower. The girls quickly whisk Zhang into the bathroom. Hours later, Zhang lies awake in bed under a clear starry sky. Safe at last, he reflects on the half-year of chaos. After an apocalypse, they fought not just foreign armies but traitors at home. Now life can be simpler, even sweet. For a moment, the warm comforts of family and love wash away the nightmares. Chapters 780 to 782. Chapter 780, The Mystery of the Deep Sea. The next morning Zhang sleeps in until 10 o'clock. He pads downstairs in slippers to find the household in sleepy disarray. Fatty Sue is sprawled on the living room floor, frantically playing a brutal video game. He squeals, dead again, each time his character dies. Zhang laughs and teasingly warns him about death, ordering Fatty Sue to brew coffee instead. Soon all are assembled. Liang Yu practices warm-up exercises, her arm now healed enough to train. Uncle Yu and Big Stomach Ji fiddle with instruments, and the younger Tengu officers chat excitedly. Zhang outlines his morning plan. First, he will formally equip the compound mutants, Uncle Yu, Fatty Sue, to travel to Blizzard City for genetic transformation under Deng Group. Uncle Yu's eyes light up. Then a surprise, Zhang passes out the artillery keys. In addition to the coastal guns, Blizzard City has supplied Zhou's group with high-powered rifles and rocket launchers. Chen Jingguan and Yang Xinxin will train local militia to man them. Zhang has also commandeered an icebreaker ship. Veteran sailors and himself will embark on a short coastal patrol, half for survey, half for rest. All of them board the vessel: Zhou Ke, Yang Xia, Liang Yu, Uncle Yu, Fatty Sue, even Xinxin's dog Huahua, plus the Tengu juniors. Zhang is careful to hug Xia before departure. Today, he truly intends to unwind. The ship moves along the polar ice edge. The group marvels at the serene sea. For fun, they fish. But after an hour, not a single bite. Liang Yu chides, maybe the fish froze on the spot. An old sailor, Lao Tian, laughs and explains that the surface is too cold, the fish swim deeper under ice. Zhang smiles and points out that catching bigger fish requires going farther out. But Lao Tian warns against deep waters. Zhang agrees. Tonight he only cares about the view and each other's company. Yang Xia, cheeks flushed from the cold, claims she's having the time of her life. The group stays near the pier, sharing hot tea and listening to the waves, a much-needed peaceful day after months of battle. Chapter 781, Sea Monster, Additional 1. Suddenly, up ahead, their tracker's alarm screams, a giant blood-colored patch is ahead. Zhang steers the bow into the crimson waves. Moments later, the captain shouts, "Land on deck." A monstrous sight, a whale-sized mutant beast, dead and bloated, floats under the ice. Its head is ringed with long tentacles and rot, and its body exceeds any known whale in girth. Sharks already swarm around, gnashing at the corpse. Even as Hua's team stares in awe, Yang Xinxin gasps in admiration, "Wow, brother Zhang, this is incredible." Zhang orders the engine off, the crew quietly salts the sea from the pier. This creature, likely an apex predator, should be far out in deep ocean, starving here. Good catch, Liang Yu cracks, grabbing a spare explosive charge, the boat's boom, and hurling it into the water near the carcass. Time for a feast. Instinctively, everyone scrambles to fish now. The monstrous kill promises a bounty of big fish drawn by the scent. As the team casts lines, Fatty Su cheerily predicts a record catch. But Zhang notices Lao Tian standing apart, frowning deeply. He walks over, concerned. Lao Tian quietly speculates, "This monster doesn't belong here. Such a massive predator needs plentiful prey, there's none near shore." "Something strange is happening," Lao Tian says under his breath. Zhang's brow furrows. The chapter ends on this mysterious note. Zhang glances back at the gigantic carcass and the quietly concerned sailor. The day's fishing has turned unexpectedly suspenseful. Whatever journey this monster had, and why it died here, will remain a puzzle, at least for now.